I think there's a couple of issues. I mentioned during the presentation that although everybody says that infrastructure is important, if one actually looks at how the government spends money in Brazil, it doesn't seem that it is that important. So something's wrong. And I think part of that has to do with election cycles. It takes a long time to put infrastructure in place, so a major expenditure on infrastructure during the one government may not help that government during the elections, the upcoming elections, so it would rather spend money on more visible projects that have a quicker return or more eye appeal than, say, improving the sanitation system or building roads or improving hydroelectric capacity in a far part of the country. So while everyone provides lip service to the value of infrastructure, that doesn't translate into effective political action. So that's one problem. A second problem is that the paper points out is sort of a lack of managerial and technical capacity. I mean, this is sort of like synonymous with a developing country. You need to be a strong culture of management, a deep culture of management to carry out complex infrastructure projects, to design them, to build them, to operate them, especially in a country of Brazil's dimensions. So in a sense, the weak state of infrastructure in Brazil reflects the fact of decisions made over decades that not to invest sufficiently in managerial and technical capacity that could then enter into government and help government design and carry out these projects. So I think that's a problem as well. And finally, and this may be more the case of Brazil, but I do think other countries as well, the way the budget is put together in Brazil, infrastructure becomes sort of a residual category. By that I mean, after you spend money on health and education and salaries and pensions and many other categories, there's a small amount of discretionary spending left over. Well, that's the part that goes to infrastructure. And it ought to be the other way around. There ought to be, as there is in China, a major commitment to put in place the infrastructure for future economic growth. Above all else, carefully selected projects, but above all else, invest in that and then see how much money is left for more current use items, even health, even education, whatever. See what is remaining. Essentially, investing in infrastructure, well, it sounds kind of like a dull word, doesn't it? It is essentially investing in the future. It's improving the capacity of the economy as a whole to generate income, to generate employment, to spur further private sector investment. It's really the key to everything. And I don't think that's well understood. And so I think that's a problem. And there's probably not much one can do about it other than write papers like we've written and have conferences like we're holding and try to change that priority.